Hey guys, just a reminder that this video does deal with the current case that's going on in the United States in regards to this man by the name of Chris Watts, who's accused of killing his pregnant wife and two children. In this video, we're going to look at some of his body language during the couple of interviews that he made, which potentially show why this guy is guilty. And I want you guys to have a look and realize the importance of body language in our everyday lives.
What's your wife's name?
Shanann. Shanann.
What's your kid's name?
Bella and Celeste.
How do you spell Celeste?
Celeste.
How old are your daughters?
4, Bella's 4, Celeste is 3.
And so, how many times did you try calling her? I'm gonna ask some kind of tough questions. Your relationship with your kids.
Yeah, my kids are my life. I mean, those smiles light up my life. And there's like, I mean, last night, like during when they usually eat dinner, it was just like I miss them. Like, I mean, I miss telling them, hey, you got to eat that, or you're not gonna get your dessert. And just like if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart. Because if they are safe, they're coming back. But if they're not, this has got to stop. Like somebody has to come forward.
You spoken to her family, like her parents?
Yeah, they've been in constant contact, like every hour. I mean, everybody back in North Carolina and the East Coast. I mean, from Maine to Florida.
If your wife can see this, if she can watch these, what would you like to tell your wife and your kids?
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
That's it. I can take that mic off you.
I'm just suspecting, like, if somebody pulled in the back, and because we have a driveway back there from the new townhomes, but it's so hard to tell. Like, there's no cameras in the backyard or anything like that, so it's really hard to even suspect anything right now as far as how she could have left, or if someone came picked her up, or if somebody took her. But right now it's just like, if she's vanished, like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about the hard part. Your first thought is, where are they? I want them back. Your second thought is, your friends were telling you that you kind of hurt me a little on the phone. Your second thought is that you're afraid people think you may have done something.
It was, that's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I want everybody to just come home. Like, wherever they're at, come home. That's what I want.
All right, so now let's go over the body language that Chris Watts revealed during his interviews. During the interviews, this body language was consistent, so it wasn't just a one-off, it was very consistent throughout. First few things that we noticed had a lot to do with the mouth. So you noticed mouth and throat. Lots of big gulps were taking place, especially when questions were being asked, not necessarily as he was talking. Big gulps are a sign of, being nervous, being unsure, uncertain, and unaware. So he was taking a lot of big gulps during the questions. His pursed lips were also provided whilst he finished his answers. So you'll notice a lot of the times he'll finish an answer and then he'll purse his lips together. This is because he's not revealing everything. He's hiding many things. He's reserving himself. It's like his own body is telling him to keep his mouth shut while at the same time, letting him answer. It's this strange thing that people do, and you don't really notice you're doing it, but you'll notice pursed lips usually are something that occur after you provide an answer that is not truthful. He provides a relatable story. That way, you could relate to him a bit more. That's something that a guilty person does in order for you to come to their side. They'll kind of make themselves as relatable as possible. In the video, he's also hugging himself a lot. This is a very strange posture that he has, not very natural looking. And the fact that he doesn't let himself go is also very strange. That kind of posture of hugging yourself is almost like your own security blanket. It's yourself, it's your body telling you, hey, you'll be okay, buddy, because our bodies want us to survive. So his mind is in a state where clearly he is lying and he doesn't want to get caught. So his body is basically, providing him with that comfort that he won't be able to get elsewhere. And that's why you notice he's hugging himself and he's rocking himself side to side. That is something that a nurturing parent does for a child. And that is what is happening with Chris. He is rocking himself side to side and hugging onto himself. This is a clear sign to me of somebody that is not telling the truth. There's a lot of lip licking as well, and lip biting. This comes when you're thinking a lot, and the lip licking usually is a sign of deception. So when he's lip licking, he's kind of going to reveal something that will answer the question but won't necessarily be true. Also, for a man that has just, that can't find his wife and pregnant wife and children, and who talks about being so traumatized, doesn't show any physical signs of grief or trauma or sleeplessness or anxiety. You can't really see that, to be honest. There's no sign of a grieving father that I could see on his face. During the interview, a couple of times, he will also provide a nervous laugh as well, especially when he's trying to talk about stories. It's part of trying to make himself relatable as well and trying to soften that tension. Sometimes your body knows that it's being too tense. So that's why a lot of people, when they're in a situation that is intense, they will laugh about it, even though it's inappropriate. And this is a sign over here is, this guy is laughing, but for all he knows, his wife, pregnant wife, and two children could be missing or dead. So he's not really reacting in a very proper fashion. You'll notice during some of the questions, especially the more intense questions, and during the moments of silence, you could see his chest rising and falling very deep and very heavy. That is the sign of somebody that is nervous. That is taking very heavy breaths. It's also a sign of somebody that is not comfortable. He is not liking these question time segments, but he knows that he has to do it. So obviously he can't wait for these interviews to be over, and his heavy breathing is a sign of almost like an inner anger that he knows he cannot release. And another very important thing is his rapid blinking. Um, that's his brain processing the questions that are coming to him. And it's trying to think quick because he knows he's being recorded. He knows he's got to be consistent. So as he's being asked questions, he's absorbing the information at a faster than normal rate because he knows he has to answer in a faster than normal rate. He's being recorded. So you notice his rapid blinking occurs a lot during the interview. And that is when he's being asked a question. The rapid blinking starts to happen. That's him trying to quickly absorb that information and quickly come up with the response. And that's the brain's way of basically saying, all right, think quick. We got to get this going. So it's part of the body language that's very clear to me that Chris Watts has had. And when you look at all these things put together, classic telltale signs of somebody that is not being truthful, somebody that is hiding something, and somebody that is guilty. So, soon enough his sentencing will come through. I think he's guilty as hell, and it's very obvious. And I think videos like this do help in us realizing what body language is and how important it is. The thing is, when you're having a normal conversation with somebody, you don't have the time to analyze each of these points. So a lot of the times you don't notice these things happening. It's not until you sit back and kind of observe properly, a person's body language that you can pick up on many classic signs of, all of these different emotions that point to something, that point to an intent, that point to a reason, that point to their what they're trying to actually express to you. So this is nothing professional. This is all just common sense to me, guys. But this is something I noticed on the case of Chris Watts and his interviews. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little analysis. And I hope to speak to you guys soon. And I do hope that Chris's wife, children, are in a better place. It's a tragedy what happened to them, and it's very, very terrifying that something like this can happen to a family. All right, guys, peace out. Have a nice day. Take care.